The practice of pendulum. It has already been mentioned in previous lessons that the double has its own consciousness. He looks after us, to the best of his ability. It develops just as we do, and the child's double is different from the adult's double. Therefore, when a child needs help, and the double does not provide it, it is necessary to understand that he simply cannot do it, because his consciousness is also on the level of the child. In adulthood, we can communicate with our double. If you are in a beautiful energy place, where our channels are well connected and filled with energy, you can even make out the words. In urban settings, we hear our double not so clearly, and only periodically. For example, at the moment of choosing an item in the store, a clear thought may appear in your head: do not take it, you will not wear it, or we receive other warnings. In such cases, Christians and Muslims believe that this is the intervention of a guardian angel, and people who live according to Vedic principles sincerely believe that such thoughts can be a warning from their ancestors. Some of those who study energy or esoteric practices believe that once they are engaged with the master, it is he who warns them. There can be a great many examples. Even the best master will not be able to maintain constant contact with each of his disciples, because there may be tens of thousands of them instead of hundreds. And why should the master choose one of all the disciples and spend his energy and time constantly looking after this particular disciple? Just imagine how much energy a master will need to constantly monitor what his student is doing, and even give advice at a distance. The master simply will not have time for his own practices and other students. We get advice and warnings from our double. The double can only do what is in his power, and that will contribute to our development. Sometimes the double can protect us. For example, we wanted to go one way, but suddenly changed our mind and went the other way. It is quite possible that there we were waiting for a meeting that could lead to undesirable consequences. Or a person commits some actions himself, not knowing what exactly he is doing and why it is necessary, and then suddenly it turns out that everything worked out the best way. Most likely, at this moment the person was supervised either by a double, or by the spirit itself for some reason. This was what was necessary for further development. You can communicate with the double quite consciously. This practice describes how you can consult with a double by asking yes and no questions. First part, opening the red line. The main position, sitting on the edge of a chair or table, the main thing that the back is straight. 1. Imagine yourself and your double. Mentally we address to the double, it will be yes. At some point, you will feel something pressing on the top of your head, and your head begins to sway. When the pressure on the back of your head, the head swings back and forth or right and left. If the double is very strong, the pressure and swaying will be stronger. Remember what feelings mean: yes. 2. Mentally ask, will it be a no? And we also carefully monitor our feelings. 3. Mentally ask, it will be I don't know. And we remember our feelings. When the double does not answer the question, there may be a clear feeling that the channel on the top of the head is open, but there is no pressure or movement. It can be swaying in a circle or swaying only in one direction. There is no correct and unified feeling. Each double has its own ways of interacting. Swaying in the same direction can mean completely different responses for different people. It all depends on how you agree with your double about the symbols for the answer options: yes, no and I don't know. You can't ask a double what's best to do. For example, will it be good for me to go to this job? Or if I do this, will it be better for me? Should I do this? The double can't answer such questions, because you have to make your own decisions and take responsibility for your choices. Otherwise, the only thing you will learn in life is to ask the advice of a double. However, you can ask the double if the decision has already been made, or is in the intermediate stage of making a decision. For example, you have already decided to get a job and ask, if I get this job, will the consequences be good for me? The double can answer yes or no. Then you ask, short-term/long-term consequences. It may well be that the short-term consequences, everything will be fine, and the long-term, in a couple of years the firm will close, and you will have to look for a job again. And it is quite possible that in another job at first, in the short term, there may be some difficulties or conflicts, and then everything will get better, and you will be offered a promotion and a better position. The double is very easy to answer simple questions, and it is much more difficult to understand it when we subconsciously want to hear a different answer. Especially if you are already inclined to make a decision and have thought through all the options and stages in advance. In this case, the person is willing to accept wishful thinking, and even if the double said no, the person sincerely believes that it was yes. Then, when the veil falls from the eyes, the person is just as sincerely indignant, asking the double, "Why didn't you warn me?" The double warned, but the man himself did not want to listen to anything it contradicted his subjective opinion. Therefore, it is desirable to make this practice a habit and treat the answers of the double with detachment, without emotional coloring. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. All have a good mood and bye.